Russian figure skater Matvey Vetlogin commented on the results of the 2026 Olympics in men's single skating. Mikhail Shaidorov of Kazakhstan won, while the competition favorite, American Ilia Malinin, finished 8th. Russia's Petr Gumennik finished 6th. Many people said they went to bed late last night because they were watching the Olympics. Is that the case for you? Everyone came here today to discuss the Olympics, a kind of social gathering, haha. Of course, we all watch the Olympics. The men's singles tournament was incredibly spectacular and emotional. What do you think happened to Ilia Malinin? Why did he show such a result? I can't answer for him. I can only share his regret about his performance and understand, as an athlete, that such things happen sometimes. Another issue is that it actually happened at the competition he was aiming for, the main competition of the 4-year period, just like for any other athlete who makes it to the Olympic Games. So I can only share his disappointment, Vetlogin said. How surprising did the results seem to you? Of course they were surprising. I saw the comments that if they'd sold their apartment and bet on Shaidorov to win, they could have gone to the Maldives for the rest of their lives. What were the odds? More than 15? 40? So, 40 apartments, okay, haha. So, really, most unexpectedly, the tournament left behind a symbiosis of completely opposite feelings. Joy from Petya's performance, yet resentment for the scores he received. It was sympathy, pity for what happened to Malinin, and incredible pride and joy for what happened to Misha Shaidorov. And all these emotions blended into a single dish, a single compet, something indescribable. I'll spend most of today and the rest of the evening not remembering my performance, but the emotions I experienced last night. Was Mikhail Shaidorov's victory his victory or the failure of his opponents? No, of course not, it was his victory. He did everything he could and absolutely deserved this gold, Vetlogin was quoted as saying by Championship. Daniel Glykengos, coach of Eteri Tupridz's group, believes that Petr Gumennik should have won a medal in the individual competition at the 2026 Olympics. Gumennik performed 5 quadruple jumps in his routine. The Russian finished 6th overall, with a score of 271.21 points for both programs. He received 184.49 points for the free skate. I promised myself I wouldn't say anything, but I can't. My personal opinion is that given Petya's situation, without a ranking, without anything, he should have finished 3rd today. Given his ranking, and if we hadn't been suspended, he should have finished 2nd at the very least. What we see in his printout doesn't correspond to reality. I can say that for sure. We looked at all the competitors. That number of QS and the checks he got were forgiven for others. Plus, he got 80 points in components with a flawless performance. He had no deductions or step-outs. He got 80 points in components. Great athletes like Ilia Malinin and Adam Xiaohim-Fa receive higher component scores than Petya for their completely disrupted free skates. That's not quite right. It shouldn't work like that. It's a shame. For me, Petya, at the very least, will get a medal, Glykengos said. Kozlovsky. Mikhail Shaidorov, we're close, and I know how difficult this season was for him. How, at the beginning of the season, he was constantly getting deductions for under-rotations, for mistakes that, in my opinion, weren't present in the numbers indicated in the printouts. And in the end, Mikhail Shaidorov has already made history in figure skating. As we say in our circle, he played this game. He passed. I literally burst into tears yesterday. First, I cried because he was in the top 3. Then I couldn't believe he was 2nd. And when he won, I actually thought the neighbors would call the emergency services because they had a leak upstairs. Bykova. I was surprised my downstairs neighbor didn't come over to yell at me about why it was so loud, why I was stomping my feet, why I was screaming, because I honestly couldn't believe my eyes. I was literally crawling on the floor in tears. Kozlovsky. A friend called me last night and said, "Do you understand that the phrase Mikhail Shaidorov as an Olympic champion isn't some kind of joke?" Bykova. It's all well-intentioned, we're joking, we're all very happy for Misha. He truly deserves it. Kozlovsky also commented on Petr Gumennik's assessment. I don't want to go around in circles or repeat myself. I can only say that what Daniel Glykengos said is, in my opinion, 100% true. Kozlovsky. We are very competitive and should have been at the Olympics. Russian figure skaters Alexandra Bykova and Dmitry Kozlovsky spoke about the competition in the international pair skating arena. How would you rate international pair skating? Kozlovsky. We believe there are at least 3 more pairs missing. How strong is the influence of Russian figure skating on the international arena? Kozlovsky. We shouldn't look at the term Russian figure skating or any other countries. We should look at the athletes who are present there. It's important to understand that Russian figure skaters once made a colossal contribution to the development of pair skating. Then there was the German pair. I don't even want to talk about the pair, but about a specific person, Alina Savchenko. There was also the Chinese pair. Our sport is individual, and everything depends on the athletes who compete or don't compete. We now believe we are very competitive on the international stage, and we certainly should have been at the Milan Olympics. And what's happening is completely unfair. Are there enough foreign specialists now to maintain a high level abroad? Will they be able to compete with us? Kozlovsky. The best pair skating specialists are in Russia. Bykova. Many foreign pairs train in Russia. We shouldn't forget that. Ilia Malinin. He won 14 competitions in a row. It's hard not to be overconfident. Four-time Russian champion Maxim Kovtun commented on American Ilia Malinin's performance at the 2026 Milan Olympics. Two-time world champion Malinin was leading after the short program, but he struggled in the free skate and finished 8th. Ilia Malinin has a huge reserve of energy. He could handle all of this. But from the very first day, I tried to avoid commenting until the end of the Olympics. When Ilia was still competing in the team event, I said that history shows that the Olympic Games have a slippery start, especially for leaders and those who have been pinned on medals by fans and the federation. I said then that I would have preferred to see more concentration and calm in Ilia than inner confidence. Of course, the man had won 14 competitions in a row. It's hard not to be overconfident, but the Olympics have a different start. That's just the way it is historically. I don't know if his coaches told him that he needs to be a little more focused and calm in the free skate at the Olympics. He needs to rein in his inner fire, which always helps him in other competitions. I wouldn't have tried the quadruple axel, but Malinin made a mistake on the quadruple axel and got a little off track, Kovtun said. Katerina Gerbolt. I don't entirely agree with Gumennik's placement. The judges have their own opinion, but it should have been silver, at the very least. I can only speak positively about Petr's performance, as he skated everything cleanly. He looked so focused and calm. It was clear that Petr understood what he was doing and was calculating every move precisely. Even the most experienced athletes, those with more than one Olympic Games under their belt, would envy such calm and confidence. I was amazed by his confidence. His performance was very effortless and confident. I don't entirely agree with his placement. There were too many yellow squares during the skate. There was no doubt about these elements to review. The judges have their own opinion, but it should have been silver, at the very least, Gerbolt said. I'm absolutely proud of Misha and our coach, Lesha Ermanov. I've known him since childhood. We trained in the same city. I once really wanted to skate with him, but then I found out Alexei Nikolaevich Mishin would be taking me on. I'm incredibly happy for him and for Misha. He's a student of a great strategist and technician. He learned everything important from him. Everything worked out for Lesha, both his athletic and coaching careers, Gerbolt was quoted as saying by championship.